Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to show you how to cut and sew a trouser with an elastic band. So let's get started. So I'll be working with this fabric is Ankara and it's 2 yards. But if you're on a big side, please 2 yards will not be for you, will not be enough for you because it's Ankara. Ankara length is always 45. But if you're working with a fabric that is longer, maybe 2 yards will be. But please, to be on a safe side, do 2.5 or better still 3 yards. So the measurement I'm going to be working with is the hip, the crotch line, the tie, round tie, then the length of the trouser. Okay, I won't be working with the waist measurement because she wants elastic around her waist. So you can see that I have already marked out some lines, so I'll be explaining them. So the width of my band is going to be 2 inches, and for that I'm going to be minusing the 2 inches from the length of the trouser. So at the starting line, this is the starting line, the waist, hip line, crotch line, tie, then the length of the trouser. So I'm going to be placing 2 inches on the starting line. Okay, that is minusing the 2 inches for the band. Okay, so at that point I'm going to take the hip measurement, which is 9 inches. Then the next line is the crotch line. So for you to get your crotch line, what you're going to do is to divide your hip, okay, by 4 inches. Whatever you get, that should serve as your crotch depth. Okay, that is a yes, your crotch extend your crotch depth. Okay, so still my tape is still at the 2 inches at the starting line. So you mark your tie height. So the tie length I'm working with is 17 inches. Okay, you can see I've already marked out the line, 17 inches. Then the length of the trouser, which is 43 plus 1 inch for hemming, which will give us 44. Okay, so to take the round measurement, now we are going to be imputing the hip on the waistline. That is the starting line. Okay, the hip I'm working with is 44. Divide by 4 will give us 11 inches. Then you mark it. Coming to the hip line, we're going to be imputing the same hip measurement. That's the 1/4 of your hip. That will give us, the one I'm working with is 44, remember. Then I'll mark 11 here. Coming to the crotch extension, I also mark 11 inches, then connect the points. Okay, now for the crotch extension, coming to your crotch line, you know we need our crotch extension, and for you to get your crotch extension, you're going to divide your hip by 4, then you divide whatever you get again by 4. Now I'm working with hip 44. When you divide by 4, we'll have 11 inches. If you divide your 11 inches by 4 again, you will have a 2 3/4. So our crotch extension will be 2 3/4, and that is it here. So the next thing we're going to do is to make a curve meeting that crotch extension point. Can you see? I hope you're seeing this marking. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is to divide this crotch line by 2 inches. And when I place my tape here, I have a 13.5. Okay, so I'm going to be dividing by 2, and when you divide by 2, we should have a 6 3/4. So I'm going to mark 6 3/4 here. I'm going to continue marking 6 3/4 down to the hemline to get the midpoint of the trouser. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to connect this point. Can you see? So coming to the tie line, I'm going to be dividing my round tie by 4. Okay, when you divide your round tie, the round tie I'm working with is 24 inches. When you divide by 4, you should have a 6. Okay, so I'm going to place my tape at 6 inches on this middle line that we just mark. So I'll mark 6 inches here. and I'll mark 6 inches on this side. I hope you're not confused. Remember that we are making the trouser is on fold, meaning that it's two piece now, okay? The back, the two fronts, that is the two front. The trouser is on fold. You can see that the fabric is on fold, okay? So we're making the one side of the front and the other side of the front. That is two now. So when you divide your round tie, which is 24, that will, if you divide by 2, it will give you 12 inches. And when you make measure from here to here, what we have here is 12 inches. Can you see? So if you measure the other side, you will have 12 inches, giving you a total of 24 inches. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, so that is it. So at this point, that is the first 6 inches. Remember, from this middle line, we'll mark 6 inches, and we'll mark again 6 inches. So I'm going to connect this point to the crotch line this way. Then this second point, I'm going to connect it to the crotch extension line. Can you see? Can you see? So the next thing we're going to do is to take this down to the hem of the trouser, to the hemline. So we continue marking this 6 inches this side, 6 inches this side, down to the hem part of the trouser. So the next thing we're going to do now is to connect the points from the tie line. We connect down to the hemline. Can you see? So our trouser is ready. That's the front. And you see. So the next thing we are going to do is to cut this out. So I've placed the front on top of the back piece, the one I'm using for the back. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to mark out the crotch extension for the back. The back line cross extension. Okay, so coming to the crotch line on the front, I'm going to mark, increase it by 2 inches. So this is it, and you see. Now coming to the top part, I'm going to increase that by 2 3/4. That is the crotch extension for the front. I'm going to use that to increase the back piece. That is the upper back, okay, so that when you sit, your butt area will not be showing. Okay, so that's the essence. So at this point, that's the top part. I'm going to increase the back bone by 2 3/4. Okay, so this is 2 3/4. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to add allowance, the sewing allowance of 2 inches. So 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. Can you see? I'm going to connect the points this way. Then from that point, I'm going to make a curve for the back. Now, another thing I'm going to do here is to, from this point, I'm going to connect to this center piece of the back, okay, from the side here. Can you see? Now I'm coming to the leg part of the trouser. At the tie line, I'm going to do 2 inches. If you want, you can do one and a half. Okay, if you don't want the trouser to be too wide, you can do 1.5. So I can do 1.5 or 2 inches. So I will do 1.5 because my client said that she doesn't want her trouser looking so big. So I will do 1.5, 1.5, and I'll continue marking down to the hemline. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to connect the points. I hope you're still seeing what I'm doing. Can you see? So this is the back and this is the front. You can see the difference. You can see that the crochet extension for the back is longer than the crochet extension for the front. You can see we extend the crochet extension by 2 inches, and that's the top part of the back piece, and that's the front. Can you see? So coming to the side, you can see that we'll increase it by 1.5 for the seam allowance. Okay, you can do 2 inches like I said before. So that's the only difference between the back piece and the front piece. Okay, so I've also gone ahead to cut out a long piece of fabric for the band. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do now is to cut the pockets. So I'll be using this piece of fabric for the pocket, and the width is 7.5, the length is 11 inches, but this is not a standard to cut out your pocket, please. So the next thing I'm going to do is to fold the fabric into two, that is the pocket piece, then place it and place the front piece of the fabric close to it, that is the side must be matching. Okay, then shape it out. Okay, but I noticed that the pocket is too long, so I have to cut it out by 2 inches. Okay, I reduce it by 2 inches. Okay, so I open up the piece this way, place the front of the trouser again to mark out the shape for the pocket. So at the top part I mark 1.5 in, then the down part I mark 6 inches and connect it. Okay, so I'm making sure that the pieces are aligned. Okay, then I will shape it out. The next thing I'm going to do is to get one piece of the pocket, place it on top of the trouser, then I'm going to stitch by half of an inch, and I'll flip it over to have my pocket. And you see. So I forgot to reshape the center front of the trouser, so I'm going to do that quickly. So this is the front pocket, sorry, the front piece, and this is the side. Okay, and this is the pocket. You know, we've already shaped out the pocket and the side, so you can see how I match it up, fold into two, making sure that the side here is equal. Okay, the same thing with this part. So I'm going to turn it this way. Okay, making sure that it aligns at the top part with the trouser and at this side of the trouser. The same thing with the second pocket, making sure it aligns at the top part and at this side. So I'm going to reshape the center front of the trouser. At this point, I'm going to um, come down by 1 inch, and this is my 1 inch. I'm going to curve it to this side, that's the top part, this way. It is called balancing effect. It will help the band of the trousers to sit properly, and also when the owner of the trouser wears it, it will sit properly and balance well at the front part. So that's the essence of coming down at the top part by 1 inch. Then you now reshape it. So I'll quickly cut it out. So I'm going to turn it this way so that you can see how I'm cutting it. I'm trying to make sure that the top part aligns, okay, before cutting. So I'll go this way, yeah, and to the side. So this is it. So I'll go and fix the pocket first, and I'll come back and show you how it. So this is how far I've gone with the pocket. You can see I match the pocket side to the side of the front trouser and stitch it down. Okay, so I'm going to flip it to the wrong side, and when I take it to the wrong side, then I'm going to bring bring it the side of the trouser to match with the other side of the pocket this way. Do you see how I turn it? Okay, so I'm going to stitch this side down here, down, then this and the top part, so that we have our pocket this way. Can you see? So I want to show you the other piece I've already done. So this is the one. I've closed the side, remaining the top part. So here is the pocket. So this is one leg of the trouser, and this is the second piece. Okay, you can see I join the front and the back, join front and the back. So the next thing I'm going to do is to close up, close the trouser up from the crotch area. Okay, and when I'm done doing that, this is the band I cut out. I'll fix the band around it, and I'll come and show you what to do next. So this is it after fixing the closing up the crotch area and fixing the band. So this is 1 inch elastic. I'm going to insert it. So I top stitch by 0.5 at the top part, okay, because I want to get one beautiful effect. In fact, you're going to see it by the time I insert my elastic. So I'll quickly do that and I'll come back and show you the finished look. So this is the finished look. And this is the effect I was trying to explain. Okay, so this is it. You can see how beautiful the band is with the elastic. This is the full length of the trouser, looking so beautiful. The pockets, the back of the trouser. You can see it's not too wide. The leg is not too wide because that is what my client wants. She doesn't want her leg looking too wide. So if you want yours to be bigger, instead of using 1.5 from your undercross, that is your tie down to the length of the trouser, you use 2 inches. That is if you want yours to be that wide. So that's it for this trouser. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next one.